Are you sick of working out all the time and you're not seeing any progress?
Here's a simple 4-step formula to have you go from 0 to hero, and we're gonna start right now. People are so afraid to actually lift weights. You've gotta put weight on the bar. How do you go about putting weight on the bar through a periodized manner and still get results? First, we have to start with actually putting more weight on the bar, and that's gonna help progressive overload take place. Blue ribbons, best in show.
You don't want yellow, you want to go home with the blue. What do you see in front of me? What do you see in front of me? You see a big blue ribbon.
No, not that best in show. Gold medals, hand raised on top of the podium style results. That's what we're looking for. I tend to think about my dad and how he got me into strength training back in our old garage. Ironically, where the name Garage Strength comes from. So when we first started training, we're inside of our garage, okay? We got a jailhouse incline bench. We've got the single leg rack that we're still used here at Garage Strength. But we were doing bench press, we were doing power cleans, and we were working through different reps and sets. And during that first week of training, I still remember asking my dad, what should I do if I get all of the reps? Let's say I get 3 sets of 5 on bench press. What should I do? And his response still resonates with me today. His first key advice was just change the rep schemes. Okay, instead of doing 3 sets of 5, do 5 sets of 5. And then when you get all of those reps, put more weight on the bar. So as we build this formula throughout this entire video, and you can take this away, you can go to the gym and learn how to put more weight on the freaking bar. I'm gonna be doing a workout, and we're gonna follow along with my tonnage and what that formula does for my own gains throughout this entire video. So how did my dad intuitively understand progressive overload? Oh! So what is progressive overload? You put freaking weight on the bar. Why does it work? It forces a change in adaptation. Oh, it forces a change in your overall feeling, and it leads to an improvement or an increase in mechanical tension. So how do you use it inside of training? You keep adding 5s to the side each and every set until you fail. That's really the simplest way to master progressive overload. So each week you're gonna be doing the exact same exercise, and you're gonna start each week heavier than where you finished on that prior week. For those of you that are doing different exercises every single week, stop! So that elite trick is to drop the reps when you hit a plateau. We mentioned earlier, maybe you go from 5 sets of 5 to 3 sets of 5. Another cool trick, let's say that you're hitting 90 kilos for 5 sets of 5. Okay, you wanna try and hit 95 kilos, and every time you go to work to 95 kilos, you're missing it. You know, you're not actually hitting it. What you can do is drop down in those reps. You can do 5 sets of 3. And now you'll likely be able to hit that weight, but make sure that you're building week over week with that heavier load, now with that decreased rep scheme. Then after 4 weeks, if you get stale and you're not actually making progress, that's when you can start to get creative and bring in a variation for that specific movement. Let's take the squat, for example. You can use the back squat. You can use the front squat. You can use the double bounce squat. You can use the unbroken squat. Let's use the bench press for an example. You can do flat bench, but the variations might be an incline bench, a decline bench, a pad bench. These are all variations that you can use to provide another stimulus. My dad would say you need to put more weight on the bar if you want to freaking get stronger. And that means progressive overload. But how can we know on a day-to-day basis how much weight we should be putting on the bar? My dad, with his huge forearms, monster gorilla grips, massive traps, would just let you know. He'd say, dude, you've got to feel it out. You'll know what feels right as you're adding weights to the bar. And in all reality, he was talking about auto-regulation. So feeling in each session can determine that total load on the bar. So if you're feeling amazing, you can smash. If you're not feeling that good, you can just set the groove. Just find something a little bit lighter and try and replicate that set over set over set. So why is auto-regulation more effective than percentage-based training? It's like CGM for glucose monitoring. It provides live feedback. Things that impact your body on a regular basis is how much sleep are you getting? What type of stress did you have the day before? What's your body's response to the previous day's workout? And even what kind of nutrition did you have that prior day? That will all have an impact on how you feel on a regular basis. So are there situations where percentage-based training should still be used? So percentage-based training can actually be used if we want to identify, hey, get that top end set at say 90%, or if we want to establish a set range. And that could be, hey, hit 5 sets of 5, ooh, 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 at around 75 to 85%. So how does all of this actually lead to strength gains? So my dad would talk about all the weight just adds up over and over and over again. The pounds improve, the kilos keep building. And unbeknownst to him, he was really just talking about tonnage and mechanical tension. And tonnage essentially feeds mechanical tension. And in its simplest form, tonnage is going to be the total amount of weight lifted in a specific training session. This could be doing a set of 100 pounds on a bench press for 10 reps. That's going to lead us to 1,000 pounds lifted. Let's think of a concentration curl with 30 pounds and I'm doing 10 reps. That's gonna be 300 pounds of total tonnage for that specific set. Then we're gonna add all those sets up and that's gonna feed us with that total amount of tonnage. Tonnage is one of the most important aspects around weight-based training, around resistance-based training. And in order to help you guys achieve your goals, we've actually added tonnage badges and tonnage tracking inside of our app, Peak Strength. This can hold you accountable so that you can see the amount of weight that you're lifting on a day-to-day basis. How long do you think it'll take you to lift 1,000 tons? And if you reach that milestone, we'll even send you a free t-shirt. And again, speaking of tonnage, total tonnage takes us to mechanical tension. But how does mechanical tension work? So the body recognizes a certain amount of force, and then what it does is it rate codes. It determines, do we need high threshold motor units? And if the load is heavy enough, if that mechanical tension is heavy enough, we can then imprint those high threshold motor units as a defense mechanism for future bouts against that particular weight. And although mechanical tension can be difficult to calculate, tonnage is a much easier way to track the total amount of work that your body's doing. And again, tonnage is going to be calculated by the total number of reps multiplied by the specific weight used for each and every rep. Ooh, man, this workout's been tough. I can't wait to see how much total tonnage I've lifted at the end of this video. And you can start working towards that tonnage PR by picking up Peak Strength at the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS Store, or at peakstrength.app. You can download Peak Strength for 7 free days. That's gonna give you 5 free workouts. And during those 7 free days, you can cancel at any time. But the worst thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get 5 free workouts. So download the app today so that you can start your journey to attain that peak strength. You're probably asking, is it really that simple? Yes, it is. So bringing it full circle, progressive overload can lead to a larger amount of volume over a week. That increase in volume then leads to a greater amount of mechanical tension. In its simplest form, just start putting more weight on the freaking bar. The biggest thing that you can do is just say, hey, I'm gonna try and hit 5 reps, or I'm gonna try and hit 8 reps. And you hit those weights for 4 to 5 straight sets. Each and every set, you can add 5 pounds. When you get to the point where you're failing consistently, the next step is to decrease reps. Okay, so you go from those 8 reps to 5, or you go from those 5 reps down to 3, and you just increase the number of sets based off the decrease in the number of reps. Then the next thing that can happen is you're failing on those triples or those sets of 5, whatever that might be when you're decreasing that total rep range. The next thing that you can do is change the lift, okay? Now you can go to a variation. So instead of doing a bench press, you can do an incline bench. Instead of doing an incline bench, you can do a dip or anything like that. But the most important factor always comes back to put more weight on the freaking bar. Obviously, if you've watched our other videos, strength training can get pretty complex. But In its simplest form, when you're just adding more weight, you're slowly changing those rep schemes, or you're slowly changing those lifts, you can get 80% of the way there just by increasing your absolute strength. Oh look, I got a tonnage badge. But how much weight did I actually lift? So just in this workout for the video, I did 7,338 pounds. That's 3.69 tons. And I didn't even do an entire workout. Imagine how much weight you guys could lift when you're getting inside of that workout in peak strength. Obviously, it's gonna take more than one workout to attain your goals, but when you have specific goals inside of each workout, it helps you be more accountable on that long-term journey. So click the link down below in the description, head over to peakstrength.app, download the app today for 7 free days of training to help you become an absolute beast. Because remember, freaks, if you wanna become a champion, you've always gotta cultivate your power. Peace.